Hello everyone, my name is Susan Ferrugia. One of my hobbies, I say that because I've got quite a few, is to collect stamps. Now, the problem that some people find is how do I turn my accumulation of stamps into a collection of stamps? That's where some people don't realize that when you have a lot of stamps and they say, oh, I've got a collection. It's not a collection until it's turned into a collection. It's an accumulation. And I have found a brilliant software. Now, before I even talk about the software, I would like to say that I am not affiliated. What I'm doing this video for is because I want people to see how easy it can become if you have the right software. I love the software, and that's why I decided to do this video. So I am here as Susan Ferrugia, showing you how I do my collection using EZStamp. Okay, if you want to know more about the software, then go to ezstamp.com and you will find all the information you need. I'm not here to sell you anything. I just want you to see how I found it's a godsend. Without the software, I would not have been able to do what I'm going to show you in the next few minutes. So, with no further ado, I'm going to show you what I have as an example for you. So we've got some stamps here, okay? And I've got a few more are on the side here. I've already done these, but I'm going to show you how I found them. To be able to work, there's another thing I use. I've got a little microscope here that I quite like to use. Let's put some more light on. So I like quite to use because it does help. So how do I get going? So for instance, I'm going to show you, firstly, what I do. I need the software that comes with the microscope. So I'm going to just put that on. Once it's on, I can see what I need to see. Okay, so that's opening up. I'm going to have them all on one screen for you to be able to see what I would like you to see, how I work. Okay, I'm going to make that bigger. And that is great because I can take the stamp, and then I can look around my stamp to see if there's a date. Now, when you look at this one, I know it's not completely there, but it looks like 1967. So let's see whether that is correct to start with. So now I have my EZStamp software. At the moment, I've got nothing open there. I'm going to go into File. I'm going to go into Recent. I could go Open if I've never used it before. And I'm going to go into Czechoslovakia because it is the country I am doing the stamps for at this point in time. So I've got loads and loads of stamps. And I'm going to show you how I turn it from, I'll show you, from this whole accumulation of stamps into something a lot nicer. Let me show you. So the ones I've already done, this is how I keep my stamps. If it's a big country, if they're small countries, I also use another software, part of the same, which is called Album Generator. And I'll generate an album for it. So I keep them all in here. They'll have the date, 1949, and they fit in exactly where they should go, one after the other. So wherever you see it blank, that means I still need to collect some more. And as the years go by, I get more and more stamps set up for that particular year. And once a year is completely collected with no spaces in between, I'll then put year complete at the end of the page. I am not a professional stamp collector, and you will see that, but you know what? A lot of people that take it up as a hobby are not professionals either. So let's see how I do this. Very simple with using my favorite software. So if we look into here, once you get the software and you start looking at it, you can, as I did, open, I'm in Czechoslovakia. I like to go onto this button here, which gives me these search options. And if I'm looking for a stamp in 1967, I said, I'll type in 1967 and I enter, and this will give me every stamp that came out in 1967, one after the other. So as I go through, you will see all the stamps, and I will find in here the one with the cat. Now, if you don't want to go through all of them like I'm doing, you can also type in cat and see firstly whether it will give you the stamp you're looking for. And there it is. That's the stamp I was looking for. Now that's in 1967. When I click on it, it will show me here that I've already found it. And I did tell you that this one I found earlier. And it tells me I've already marked it as used, XF. Now for me, I do 3 types. I've got the mint unused, the used, which I'll take the XF if they are in good, very good condition. And if they are in any way, shape, or form tainted or broken, a corner broken, something like that, I will not mark it in. I'll put it in the album, but I will not mark it in. So when I find another one, I'll think I'll still need it, and then it's when I put it into the book. So now that I found that stamp, what I tend to do is this. I'll go into a book I keep on purpose where it will have the years on it. I'll find 1967 just for now, and I'll put it in there. And once I've got all these sorted by year, I'll then put them in the right album where they need to go. And that's how I work. So for instance, I'm going to look at this one now. So let's have a look at this other stamp that I have, which is this one here. And when I look at it, I'll just go around, have a look at the stamp itself to find if there's a date, and there is one here. It says 1970. So now if I go into, see how easy it is, I'll go to 1970. Make sure I take cat out because it's not a cat I'm looking for this time. And once I come in here and enter, I start looking at my stamps, and very shortly I should find that stamp in here. So let's go down a little. And you can go fast, you know what you're looking for. And once you see the stamp, I'll check to see whether I already got it or not. There it is. Oh, it's not that. That's the set. There it is. There's the stamp I'm looking for. Now, if you don't, again, want to keep going through them, I like going through them because I like seeing my stamps. There's another way. When you do this and it comes up to the beginning, if you click on denom and color, it will put the denominations in order. So if I'm looking for something that's 120, I can click on the 120 ones, and lo and behold, there it is. That's the stamp I'm after. I'll make sure I mark it in and click the very good there, and then that stamp can go in 1970, waiting to then be placed into my album. Let me quickly, I don't want to keep it too long. I'm going to do these 3 just to show you how easy it is to use the software and mark your collections. If I get a good response to this video, don't worry, I will be doing some more to show you what else you can do and how I use this software. Now, when I look at this stamp, it's another nice stamp from Czechoslovakia. You've got 1972. So I know where I need to go. Now, if you don't want to do it by year all the time, another thing you can do is when you're on a stamp that's in, let's say, 1970, I click on F12. This brings up all the images, one after the other, year by year. And if I go Let's make it slightly smaller. So I'll show you. Let me just try to resize it a little for you. I think I've made it too big at some point. So if I've got all the stamps there, I can go down, and I know that when I come into 1972, so at the moment, if I click on a stamp, it tells me I'm in 1972, which is correct. And here is the stamp. And when I found that particular stamp and marked it in, I now have the whole set. This is where I can keep track. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're all there. I've got nothing missing. So what I'll do, I'll take the stamps. Now, the reason I've put them in a stock book and put them in the year is so I don't keep opening and closing my actual album, okay, where my collection is gonna finish. What I do is when I have quite a few, I'll just go into the year and place them in their appropriate space. Next one, I'm gonna do 2 more and then I'll stop the video there to see how it's going to be taken, whether you like it or what's going to happen. There are other ways. So this one says 1971, so we're in the same area as I was before. So for that reason, if I now come here and go up a little, 1971, I should be able to find that stamp quite easily. And here it is. I've already marked it. It is in 1971. And I'll put it in an album, ready to go into the albums when I finish selecting all my stamps. Now, if you have a stamp and you want to look for it, and there is maybe no date, or the date has something over it, so you can't really see the date you're looking for. So there could be all sorts. Now, this one has a date there. It says 1972. But it's got horses on. So another, if there's no date you can see, another way of searching is very simple. Again, in the same block, I'll type in horses or horse. You know the date, 1972, I think I said, then I will mark the date as well. But you know what? I'm just going to do horse for now. And this will bring me most of the stamps that have a horse on. Now, sometimes it might not find the one you're looking for. And then I'll select a different method for looking for it. But at this point in time, I'm just going to quickly go through, see what, I mean, remember, we're on 40. So if I go down by denomination as well, by money, I should not find anything before I come down to the 40s. And if I start the 40s, there it is. There's my stamp. I look at the date. It tells me it's 1972. And that is how easy it is to sit and enjoying your collection. So that's a few stamps I've shown you. I'm going to do one last one where I haven't done it before, just to show you that, yes, you can find them. Sometimes it's a little bit more difficult than others, but you know what? I enjoy looking through the stamps, and the more I see them while I'm searching, the more I start remembering what the collection is all about. I know I don't have this one, Czech Republic. Okay, so firstly, I'm going to look at the stamp. Let me show you so you'll understand. So I'll go into my microscope. Usually I use 2 screens. I'm only using one at the moment just to be able to record it for you. Now that says 2000, which gives me an idea that the year is going to be year 2000. Okay. I like to look on the side, and there it is. Look, 2000. So I know that's a 2000 stamp. So next step, go in here. I'll put 2000, 2, 1, 2, 3. And you can update this software. Every year they bring out more to update the new stamps in. So you can always have everything you may require. Now, the money on it, let's see if I can see it without my microscope, because my eyesight is not that good. it's 9K. So if I go through the list and come down to the number 9, which is down here, and I click, it starts showing me stamps that have 9K, and there is the stamp I'm looking for, the cat. Now, if I look at that stamp, I don't have it. I told you, I know I didn't have that one because I know what I've got in my collection. And what I do is I click the type of stamp I have. Now, it's a used stamp in very good order. So for that reason, I mark it as used XF. There is another software that you might, if you are a professional collector, it is the Gradient. I have that, but I don't use it that much, not at the moment. For me, what I'm interested in is my stamp is in a good order. There's no tears, there's no hinges on it, nothing like that. So I mark it as used XF. I click on the tick, and that will now have a green marking there, and it has a tick at the top. I then put it in year 2000 ready. So when I have a few 2000 stamps, I then put them in the proper album and in the proper year where it needs to go. So that's how I'm going through my accumulation of stamps, country by country, going through them. And this software, for those who are a bit more interested about, for instance, variations of stamps, that sort of thing, you have them on as well. So if I take you quickly before I go, I'm going to do F12. This shows me all the thumbnails from where I'm at. So I can see what stamps I've got in the year 2000. If I click at the beginning, it takes me straight to where the beginning of the stamps are. Now, these blue ones, the light blue ones, that means I've got them in my collection. Okay, they're in my album. But when you see 2, it will then show you, so you'll know what you're gonna get, and it's brilliant, if I may say so. It will tell me that this is 13.5 when you put it on the perforation grading. If I go on this stamp, it will tell me it's 11.5. So you check your grading and it will tell you why there are 2. You could have some stamps where in this particular one, I know there are some which have maybe a sun you can see coming up, or the sun is omitted, and the stamp will tell you that. So I'm trying to see one just offhand, but everything that's different, the software will tell you. That's a type 3, no watermark. It tells you if there are watermarks. It will tell you the size. So the size is different on this one, 11.5 or 13.5. So I'm 13.25 with 13.5. So you can see exactly what it is you're looking for. Well, if you liked this video, please do leave a thumbs up. You can put comments down below. And if I see people are interested in how I deal with my humble collection, then I will try to get to do some more videos for you. But let's see how it goes. I will be putting on more if I see that they are helpful for people. But for me, although I'm not affiliated in any way with EZ Stamps, I wanted to tell you what brilliant software this is. And as an, I mean, I'm in the UK. This is an American software. I don't know the company themselves. I just bought the software because I seen it there and I thought, oh, I need some good software. But I'm so happy with it that I decided, and some of my friends did ask me, can you show us how you work with the software you keep going on about? I mean, they hate me for it because whenever anybody says anything, I just say EZ stamps, that's all you need. But I'm just letting you know what a great software, and I hope you liked it. So who knows, I might see you again. For this point in time, goodbye and see you soon. Bye-bye, everyone.